What secrets lie below?
Hi guys, I was editing the video and I noticed that basically I'm doing the same thing over and over again. So it's not entertaining to show the same thing a billion times. So I just cut out a lot of the repetition. So there's going to be big jumps in experience and we'll come back when things are cool. 20 Cape has a perk where it saves some of the blue bar when you get an artifact. It looks to be about 10% per artifact. So I did a little bit of math and I have this spreadsheet I want to go over. So first the assumptions: 600 failures, 900 successes, 198 of which get procced by furnace. I have a 95% luck on balancing, so if you get 100 logs, 100 of each item at a place, say you get like 95, 100 of one, and 105 of the other, you can really only take advantage of 95 of them. So you don't get the full log experience. So that's what that 95% number is. It's just multiplied onto here. I have the space and time matic with the boost, T, high spec material manual, and chins. 120 cape to have the artifact rollover, master outfit for the 7% precision and 6% XP, and the 2% gatherer's relic. I couldn't really factor in the time it takes to make the artifacts, as that involves buying at the GE and turning in the stuff. It's just too hard to factor that in, so that's a bit of a flaw here. And I also have the Fortune 2 perk and Water Fiend, which means that 6% of the time you get 2 artifacts instead of 1. So that's why there's this 1.06 there. Now, the method I decided to do was 114, 118. It's basically the same XP per hour as the 119 spot. The only difference is that this is cheap. You get chronotes. Each time you finish this log, you get 13k chronotes, which is 10 mil. The materials are cheap, and when you're there, the pylon will activate every once in a while. Probably active about 5% of the total time. So 5% of this and 95% of that. And as a final bonus, it gets to get all these pylon batteries, which can get me a 10 mil XP drop in one moment, which would be really freaking cool. But we are going to stay at Bandos until we have our 3 final pages we need. And you get them from the makeshift pie oven or the Warforged weapon rack. And here is the makeshift pie oven. So we'll get some experience while we finish off that mystery. Well, that's nice. I got 3 bisque clays in one swing. Thurgo just randomly shows up, talks about how things need to clean, and then he just teleports away. Very weird. We got the final page. I'm just gonna finish off this artifact because we're about halfway through, and then we're going to get out of Bandos. So we turned in all of our logs and we ended up with 65k notes. So we're back at zeros here, and we're going to be here basically alternating between 118 and 114. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a trip at 118, trip at 114, trip at 118, trip at 114 over and over again. But once we run out of chronotes, I'm going to go buy materials to complete logs, and that's how we're going to do it, even if that means we have to stick the pylon batteries in the corner of our inventories. Yes, that's big. This is actually so huge. Yeah, if I buy the matic, that means I now have an extra like 180 mil. This will be our last Warforge research. So now we've fully completed Warforge here. 110 mil. So Lemmy just recently got 200 mil as the first 200 mil, and he needed to get rid of his Matic. So I graciously decided to pay him 10.8 bill. I probably overpaid relative to what the actual market of it is. The problem is there's only about like 15 in the game. And I needed it now, because if it's a day later, then I lose top page. And this is just all for getting top page. And you can just kind of see how it's... So the big difference is the precision goes to 93. So we're at 93 over 88. So that is a 5.7% increase to artifact gain speed. Additionally, on top of that, there's a random chance that when the bar is somewhat full, that it'll just give you an artifact. I don't know what the proc rate on that is, but you have 5% base. Then you also have a focus of 9 instead of 7. So you get considerably more material drops per hour. And that means you get more XP per hour gathering. And we do have to wait for it to get back up to level 20 before we use the rest of our XP capacitors. I basically have 400 mil left, but by getting Inquisitor pieces, I should be able to hold that. And as I do logs, I get chronotes, which will maintain me all the way through till what's probably going to be Friday. I just kind of realized something. So you know that like sometimes people will like buy celebrities' cars because like they can say they have someone's car. It's kind of like what I did here. Like this is Matic Lamy used to get 200 mil in rank 1. It's a famous Matic. And it will always be that Matic. So it's kind of cool to have that bit of like RS history right here. And go AFK to cook lunch. And we get a Tetra Compass piece and 2 tomes. So that was a trip that took like just under an hour, or just over an hour. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. And we got 6, 11, we got 13 artifacts, not including doubles. So this is pretty OP, and I love this Matic. Guildmaster Tony's Matic draws attention to a nearby artifact, allowing you to discover it immediately. And it doubled. And make 22 of each of these, as we are running relatively low. Okay, so we have 22 of each of these. So we are going to teleport to Soaring now and hand all these in. So here we are handing in the last of our 2 logs here. We're up to 3,200 batteries, and we got 300k notes for that. They're about 600 each, so that's 200 mil. Level 20 Matic, that means we can now start using the XP capacitors, as both our furnace and honed now get the 10% boost. So our honed is now a plus 13.2% chance, and our furnace is now 22% chance to burn. So that'll increase our XP per hour. So when tomes drop to the floor, I guess if you happen to get your inventory filled the tick you get the tome, it gives you a nice little message. I don't know, it's nice that you can still get them, and Jagex thought about that, so kudos. Just got his 5.4, that was about 14 hours after Lamy, and Omid is number 3 about 15 minutes later. This is actually so hyped. So we've gotten 3 robes in a row here, and we got a double with the Praetorian robes here. So 4 robes in 15 minutes. That's insane. Insanely good for us. At the end of this trip, we'll be able to make all of our artifacts. So we've made all 120 artifacts here. We're gonna go turn in 20 of them. We still have a ton of things stored up. We just don't have the buy limit for the materials yet. Yeah, we still have 7 million experience banked right now, including the pylon. So we're still in a good situation. It's just the buy limits on all the materials are only 1,000. So I needed to go stock up, which is why our cash stack is so low. You teleport to Soren, we can hand in 20 more logs and get up to 5,200 batteries and about 300,000 chronotes. Just got a triple artifact. Fortune doubled it, and it got doubled in the inventory. That's a 5% times 1%. That's a 1 in 2,000 chance. Wow. Got another Tetra Compass piece, which gives us 9 full ones in the bank. Probably about like 2 million experience, I'd say. An extra 2 mil banked. Robes in a row, and one of them doubled as well. So I think we actually have less hoods than robes now. So it's starting to balance out naturally. Holy crap, that's a first. 3 artifacts doubled in the same inventory. That's crazy. Oh, hype, we just got a staff rod. Like another 70 mil. In like 2 or 3 days since we got our last one. So unfortunately, the crash has already happened and the rod only sold for 61 mil. We now have enough artifacts to do 26 Zeros 4 sets. So we're going to go ahead and do that because that's the max amount we can fit in an inventory. Hey, Fortune double. Honestly, Fortune 3 probably would have made a difference because if you take all the ones that we've gotten and you multiply it by 50%, probably like we got 20 to 30 artifacts this way. So you're looking at an extra 15 artifacts, which is another hour saved by going for that perk. I just want to point out that I am an idiot. I had been walking all the way around down to the bottom here, but you can actually enter from up here. So unfortunately, overnight, while I was asleep, the final 7 people got their 5.6, and we're ranked 36 now, but we have about like 175 mil banked, so we're really like up here, but a couple of people down here will also be up here. Well, looks like we got 160 mil about an hour ago, and I didn't even notice. We're making 26 sets now, and we're going to hand them in for 2,600 more batteries and about 350k more chronotes. I get over 1 million experience per inventory with these guys. I did it again. I wasn't recording. They've been all bad so far. Again, 1 tome only. One tome only. One tome only. At least I got 2 tomes that time. Yeah, that was not worth it. One of the good pieces from doing all those Tetra Compasses that we got all these T's material manuals and high spec monocles that we don't really have to spend chronotes on buying them anymore. Sweet, got a sensor. I think I'm gonna keep that one. Now we've made 1 of every artifact. Each got 3 artifacts in the span of about 5 seconds. Guildmasters increased, where is it? Yeah, so we got the familiar produce an item. So that means we got a double, and then 8 seconds later, the Matic worked. This is starting to become not humorous. We're already down like 15 battle plans in the bank. And our first 5 artifacts doesn't have a battle plan. It gets worse and worse. We're at 8 with 0. Oh, sweet. I didn't even notice I got a sensor. How long ago was that? That was 3 minutes ago. So as Pylon is about to go off, I want to make sure that I sell this for, so any of the snipers. It sold for 64 mil flat. 180? I feel like the darts announcer. So I don't know, I'm getting a little excited. I'm happy I took it lax though. Like I looked it up and I'd be rank 36 if I like try harded all day. If I try hard all day yesterday. Yeah, I'll be like 41. So I lost 5 ranks. Yep. Ooh, I needed that. The final artifact has been gathered. Well, I have to go get all the materials. It's like 200 of them. They take 5 seconds each, plus banking time. 20 minutes. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. It's time. Three, two, one. Oh, that's really awkward. You can only do 10,000 at once. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. There we go. Did it. So here was the final restorations we got up to. We did a total of 34, 37. A little bit of everything here. The most notable thing is the 227 Zerosian 4 logs we did. Pretty crazy.